All right. So we're talking about YouTube Live. NAMI Northern Virginia has just started using YouTube Live sort of as an alternative to Facebook Live. So what YouTube Live is similar to Facebook Live. People can go on and watch the video as it's happening. So you're streaming to YouTube so people can watch. The nice thing about YouTube Live is there's a comment box on the side. Same like you would comment on Facebook, you can comment on the side and have a chat going during the live feed. The nice thing about YouTube is you don't have to have a Facebook to use it. So for people to watch the video, all they have to do is go to your YouTube page, or if you can set up a link ahead of time. So some of the things that we've used YouTube for is, when we want to reach an audience that we don't think uses Facebook very often, or when we want to reach an audience who we want to specifically give people the link to view it. And there's a lot of different options, and I'll talk about some of this when I go through. There's a lot of different options of things you can do with YouTube. Some are similar to Facebook Live, some are a little bit different, but the way that you set it up, you can make it private, public. You can sort of make it that people won't see it unless they have a link, or you can make it so that only a certain number of people that you directly invite can see it, or you can make it public so that anyone who finds your page can see the video. So requirement is having a YouTube channel, and it's really easy to set up. All you need is a Google account, and anyone can set up a channel using their Google account. So,
which is great because most of our affiliates have a Google account that they use to kind of store their documents in. Mm-hmm. YouTube is owned by Google, so it's just one of the many things that access information gives you access to. You just have to make sure you're signed into YouTube, not as yourself, but as the affiliate. And if you wouldn't mind, Megan, could you share your screen and show them what the NAMI Northern Virginia YouTube page looks like, just to give them an example?
Yep. So right now, this is just my YouTube home. I'm signed in as NAMI Northern Virginia. I'm gonna go to our channel. As you can see, we don't have a ton of videos right now. Most of these videos are just videos that we uploaded. So you can just upload videos to YouTube that are already recorded and share them publicly. This was our live video. As you can see now, it looks like the rest of the videos. Once it's done live, it'll save after 24 hours, it'll save as a regular video. So it can stay up there, you can share it with anyone. But this was our live. If I click on it now, it's not gonna look like it did live. It won't have the chat box open. It'll just look like a regular video, but I will show you how to set up the live. But yeah, so you just need a Google account. As you can see, we're signed in with our Google account. Once you sign in, you can get to the regular YouTube page. You do not need a Google account to view YouTube videos. So I will emphasize that unlike Facebook, where you need a Facebook account to view, with YouTube, you don't need to sign in. People don't need to sign in to view the videos that you're posting. They can just view as a guest. So I'm going to kind of jump in. I'm going to just briefly mention there are two different ways to do YouTube Live. One of them is just like Facebook Live, and I'm not really going to talk about that. I just want to say that you can just do it just like Facebook Live, where you just go live to YouTube. But I'm going to talk about the other one because it's one of the benefits of YouTube Live is that you can set up a link ahead of time to share with people. So I'm going to go into that a little bit. I apologize. It is a little bit complicated. I'm going to try to go slow. If you guys have questions, please let me know. If you need me to pause, if I'm going too fast, let me know.
And Megan, real quick, before you get started, I'm just going to reiterate something that we talked about on some of the office hours, but just in case people know. At the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see that there's share screen, recording, closed captioning, breakout rooms. And so if you click on the three dots for more, especially if you're the host. Right now, you guys may not see this because you're not the host, but if you clicked on more, it would say live on Facebook, live on YouTube. And so it's how we've used, you click it, there's 3 other clicks, and then you're basically what we're seeing right now goes live on Facebook, or it could go live on a video that's being recorded on YouTube. And so that's what we mean by what's nice about YouTube is there's a way to sort of create a link in advance so that you can get people to sort of join and keep track of it without just saying, hey, we're live now and watching the video after the fact.
Right. It's a little bit easier for people to find your video because you can share the link ahead of time.
So otherwise they just have to know the time and go there or something?
Right. So usually when I do like a Facebook Live, I might create a Facebook event and invite people to it so that Facebook will tell them at that date and time, hey, this, NAMI is going live right now talking about such and such a workshop. With YouTube, it's more like you can send them the link and they'll just know to keep it. It's, it's just a different way of doing it, but it's nice because you can kind of send it to them in advance. And with Facebook, we're kind of counting on a few people joining live, but we're also mostly counting on people watching it after the fact. So it kind of depends on what you're trying to do with your video. If you'd really like a lot of people to watch you live and engage with you, it's nice to do YouTube because you'll have more of a chance. But either way, you've got this amazing recording you can use in many different ways.
And the nice thing about the YouTube recording is you can take that link and share it anywhere. You can put it on your website. You can, embed it in your website too. So I won't go into how to do that right now, but, if anywhere that you could put a YouTube video, you can put those videos, unlike Facebook where there is a link, but again, you have to have a Facebook page to see it. This you can share very easily afterwards.
So Megan, how did we get here up in the corner by Google? Up in the right-hand corner by the...
Just go to youtube.com, youtube.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll have to log in. And there, if you're not already logged in, it'll say sign in this top right corner, and you'll use your Google account.
Okay.
Yes. So I am going to go from this.
I'm going to mention one other thing, Megan, just because I think
ahead.
these ladies will understand this, but for a lot of folks that have watched the Google tutorials, if you're in your Google account, there's that little Rubik's Cube looking thing in the top right, and you can click Drive or Calendar. You'll see YouTube as one of the icons. And so it'll automatically open this page up to your account rather than a personal account if you're signed in as NAMI Rappahannock or NAMI Neuro Valley or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm. And it'll generally keep you signed in too. So unless you actually sign out, whenever you go to YouTube, it should automatically be in your account. But all right, ready to get started? Awesome. So I'm going to start by going to this top button. It looks like a camera up here with a little plus sign in the middle, and it says create. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to hit go live. This will not automatically go live. I was worried about that. It will not do that. Don't worry. But it's going to bring you into this studio where you can set up your video. As you can see, this is recommending the same settings that I used for our last live. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to show you how to do it. But once you do one video, it'll give you this default of you can use the same settings, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to say dismiss. So this is the screen that's going to pop up. So I'm going to start by putting a title in. I'm just going to do test for now because this is just a practice. Here's where I can make it public, private, or unlisted. So I just want to talk about what that means for a second. So public video is any video that anyone can see. It'll show up on your channel. If people search you, they can find it. Sometimes it'll pop up in people's suggested videos. So this is really, anyone can see this video. It's open to the public.
Right. If you Google searched mental health, it might come up in a web search as a video you could look at.
Right. What unlisted means is basically that anyone who has the link can view it. They can share the link with people, but it's not going to pop up in any searches and it's not going to show up on your channel. So this is something that if you had, I guess I wouldn't entirely recommend using this unless for some reason you wanted to share a video with a group of people, but leave it open for them to share. So I guess if you had, some sort of presentation that you didn't want completely public, but you didn't care if it got shared amongst people, you could use unlisted. So you could share it with your network and they could share it with other people to see it. But it's not public in the sense of it won't get recommended to people and people can't search it, but it can get shared pretty easily. And then the last one is private. This is the most restrictive, and this means that only the people that you directly send the link to can access it. So they can't share the link with other people, and it's limited to 50 people, and they all have to have a YouTube account. So this, is, I guess, if you really wanted to use YouTube for a private presentation with just a small group of people, you could limit it to this. Or if you had something very specific to your affiliate that you didn't want to share with everyone, but this was the best way for people to view the live, you could do that as well. That's what I'm going to use right now because I don't want my test to go public, but typically we've been making our videos public so that people can view them afterwards. I think it's important when whoever is on the live stream, getting permission from them of who it's getting shared with. So if you have a presenter, making sure they know this is a very public presentation, it is going to be on our page, open to anyone to view, versus this is a private group that only people who have the link can see. Just to talk about those a little bit. But
so this would be like doing a Zoom meeting.
Yes, it will automatically record it, and you could share the link with people afterwards. But it would be like a Zoom meeting more like a Zoom webinar, I guess. So people couldn't talk during the live stream. They could comment in the chat box, or they could, they can watch along, but they can't speak. So they won't, and their video won't be shown. So an example is, I attended a dance class that you had to pay for, and they made it private so that only the people who paid for the class could watch the YouTube video. But that way, people could watch the video. They didn't have to be in the room with their video and sound on. They could comment and chat in the box, but it was mostly everybody viewing the video, but only a select number of people.
Great. And so, for example, right now, Cindy, I'm recording this in Zoom, but unfortunately, it's going to be like a really big file, and so that's why like the Inner Own Voice online training from yesterday is only available for 2 weeks because it just takes up a lot of room. But it does record all of our conversations. It's relatively private, but this is another alternative where it's really easy to share a big file with somebody because it's
Okay.
saved in YouTube.
Yep. So once I decide whether I want it public, private, or unlisted, I can add a description, and I can choose a category. And these are just things that will help people know, especially if it's public, it'll help direct people to your video. It'll help people know what it's about, whether or not they want to watch it. And then what I want to do is I want to hit schedule for later. So I don't want to go live right now. I want to schedule it for a later time. So I choose whatever time and date my event is, say tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. I want to mention that just because you're setting this time, it will not automatically go live at that time. But this is more about when people get the link, if they open it up, it'll say, here's the time of the event. It's coming up on June 18th at 4 p.m. Or it'll have a countdown. And I'll show you guys what that looks like in a minute once I get it up and running. But this is more a notification to the people viewing. It won't automatically go live at that time. You do have the option to upload a custom thumbnail. So that's just an image that'll be on the background before the video starts. If you don't, I think it'll automatically default to whatever your last upload was, which I think was our logo. So this will show our logo, but you can pick an image to have as that background if you'd like. Then unless you're doing a video that is specifically made for kids, you want to check no, it's not made for kids. So if it's even if it's not child inappropriate, if it's, you know, if it's not designed specifically to be talking to children, then you want to hit no, it's not made for kids.
And I'm just going to interject really quick because this sort of adds on to some other tutorials we've done, but you know, you don't know what size that thumbnail needs to be, but I just did a quick Google search and it's 1280 by 720. And that's just doing a Google search. And so if you went into Canva, you could make your own dimensions. Put your logo in there and save it to those dimensions so it could be your easy thumbnail. Or you could personalize something, you know, to whatever the event was. But that's kind of how Canva can help you really quick with some of these you know, programs.
Absolutely.
Did you say 1280 or 1080?
1280 by 720.
So then I'm going to go ahead when this is all set and I'm going to hit create stream. And it'll give me this nice little screen. As you can see, nothing's showing up yet because I haven't connected it to anything. But this is going to be an important stream an important page that we will need to connect to Zoom. As you can see, this is dark. It's not live yet. We will not go live yet, but this box over here is where you can see the live chat once your stream is happening. So that will show up here, which is another nice thing about YouTube is you don't have to be watching the video to see the live chat. You can be on this back end and you'll see the comments pop up here from audience members as the stream goes on.
And that's a bit of a difference from Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is similar to what we're doing. It'll say like live in the top corner where it says record. And it looks just like you're on the Zoom call. So you don't really see your Facebook feed and you don't see the comments that might be coming up. So you have to have either a second monitor or you might keep your iPhone nearby and just kind of monitor it that way. So this is nice that they let you see it all in one screen.
Mm-hmm. And once I do connect it to my Zoom meeting, it'll show a preview up here of what the audience is seeing while you're streaming. I want to actually get the link, the shareable link that you can share with people. And in order to, this is a little bit of the tricky part, is this is a page that I want to come back to, but I want to get the link first. So I have to go down to this button, this manage button. And here's my live stream. It's set up, it's ready to go. It has not started yet, but I'm going to click these three dots and I'm going to hit get shareable link. And this is going to copy the actual YouTube link that I can share with my community. So when I go to that link, once it loads.
Yeah, and while we're pausing a minute,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the three dots. I'm back on the screen. See if I can make it bigger. Back on the previous screen, you said, okay, start, create live or something like that. And then we got to this screen. That's where I lost you.
So we're in this YouTube studio, which is where I got to when I hit that little camera button and went go live. And there's a few different buttons.
I see studio in the upper. I'm sorry.
There's a few different buttons over here of different places, and I went to manage because this shows all of my upcoming live streams. And the page that I was at before was this one, right? Is this the one you're referring to? Yeah. So I was here and I just went to this top left over here and I hit this third one down that says manage. And it just took me back to this page that shows, it would show all of my upcoming live streams if I had multiple, but I just have the one. And this is where I can get my shareable link. It's a little confusing that you have to go out to get the link. It's a little frustrating. But then when I get that link, I can go, and this is what people will see. So right now it's not live. You can see it's private, but I had the link so I could access it. And it tells me here it's going to be live in 24 hours. I can give myself a reminder. As it gets closer, it'll have a countdown. And eventually it'll say waiting for NAMI Northern Virginia until I decide to go live. But this is the thumbnail that I was talking about. The image, whatever image you want will show here while people are waiting. But this is what that link will look like. And that's the link that you can share with your network.
So this, oh, this isn't Facebook. This isn't the top of your Facebook. This is on YouTube.
Yep.
Will this show on YouTube? Like this?
Yeah, so this is on YouTube right now. This is how it looks. I could share that link up here. I could share it on Facebook. I could share it with my network, but they have to go to YouTube to watch it.
What's a channel?
What's a channel?
Yeah.
So a channel is, it's basically my YouTube page. It's where all of my videos that I upload go to. So if I go to NAMI Northern Virginia's channel, it's this page that we saw before of, these are all NAMI Northern Virginia's videos that they have uploaded. This is it's called a channel. It's basically the same as like a Facebook page for YouTube of where all of my videos are kept.
Do you have to create one, or it just creates one by itself when you upload your first video?
So yeah, so once you log in with your Google account, you have a channel now. It'll be blank until you upload a video, but it'll automatically create this channel.
Think of like your channel like your library. It's your drive where everything you add is in the drive. Everything you record or upload to YouTube is going to be in this channel or library. And if somebody likes one of your videos, they might click on your channel just to see what else you have.
Right. Yeah. So we have, people can subscribe to it, follow it like they would on Facebook or like it, but, and they can search NAMI Northern Virginia and they would find our channel and they could see all of our videos. So.
Yeah, a lot of people, have either of you used YouTube very frequently?
I've searched for things and watched them, and that's it.
Same. They're great for tutorials. People always have tutorials, and they're always saying, if you have a minute, please subscribe below, because under the video, it'll say, subscribe to my channel. And then basically, it's like Facebook in the sense that whatever channels you subscribe to, they sort of populate your YouTube homepage more frequently than other things.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a platform we've used a lot. It seems like NAMI Nova is not using it a ton, but they're getting there. And as we continue to do online programming, it's a good platform to think about, especially because it's free and you already have an account through your Google.
Right. And they have the NAMI Watts thing here, like our kickoff.
Yeah. So we did our rally on Facebook. Live, but then we recorded it and we uploaded it to YouTube. So that's just an uploaded video. We recorded our rally and shared it on our YouTube page too. And now we can share that link anywhere, which is also another option. If you did a Facebook Live or any sort of live and recorded it, you could always upload it to YouTube as well instead of doing the YouTube Live. But.
Right. And YouTube could be uploaded to Facebook as a video. All you have to do is embed the link. Facebook Live's really good for just sort of targeting that population that uses that social media platform, which is quite a few people, but this gives you more versatility.
YouTube is more versatile than Facebook.
Yeah, it's just easier. More people can access it without having an account. So I'm gonna go back.
Megan, have you had any experience with looking at stats of how many people look at various things so you can tell what is more worth trying to replicate?
Sure. So you can see, this is our channel that you can see right now. This was our live stream. and you can see it has 61 views below.
Where does it say that?
Right here below the video. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit small.
Yes, I do. Now I do. Yes. Oh, it's right there.
Yep. And if I click on these three, actually no, there's a way that I can look at detailed analytics of the videos that I've posted. So you can look into it. I think it's different audiences with each, and you know, we have shared the link on Facebook, which has gotten more people to view it. You know, our rally here, you can see only has 4 views, but we haven't actually shared the link to it because it was on Facebook. So that one, because it was an uploaded video, probably hasn't gotten as many views as our Facebook Live. The other thing about Facebook Live is that it notifies anyone that follows you when you've gone live. So anyone that follows you will automatically know and might be able to tune in. With YouTube, you generally have to reach out to your audience first ahead of time and advertise well. So I think that makes a difference in how many views that you get. But I think it tends to be different audiences depending on, you know, who has Facebook, who has YouTube. And again, we haven't done a ton on YouTube. We're a little bit more active on Facebook. So we might have more people viewing Facebook right now. If we start to get a little bit more active on YouTube, we might have more people there. It kind of depends on your audience and what makes sense. We specifically decided to do YouTube because our presenter said a lot of the people that she works with that would like to see the video don't use Facebook. So she had sort of requested that we don't do Facebook. And I said, well, this is a great opportunity to try YouTube Live. And I think we had maybe 15 people on live with us, but more people viewed it afterwards. And same with Facebook. I think we've had similar numbers with our Facebook Lives, about 15 people on with us and more people viewing it afterwards. So it's kind of hard to tell. They do have some analytics that you can look at, but it's hard to tell because sometimes people view it for a couple seconds and then go on to something else. Same with Facebook. So it's hard to tell when somebody's viewed it, have they actually sat and watched the whole thing? Does that make sense?
It does. And at this point, then you don't have a particular feel for one, for any particular demographic being better for one or the other.
No, I guess, I mean, the thing about you know, we chose to do our rally was after this presentation, and we chose to do the rally on Facebook. And I think part of that is because we had been very active on social media before that. But I think, you know, it's tough. I think you have even like younger generations now aren't using Facebook either. Most of them are using Instagram. And so it's harder to reach them sometimes through Facebook. Not sure if YouTube would be better for that or not. We're still sort of experimenting to see what makes the most sense, but it's a it's a process. We're trying to figure it out, but I think we had gotten feedback from a number of people too that had said, hey, I don't have Facebook. How am I supposed to watch this? Which is why, you know, we've been experimenting with YouTube Live as well. So.
Thank you.
Megan, would you do me a favor and go to NAMI Coastal Virginia's YouTube page? Just look them up. You know, Facebook has sort of the, it's set up to be sort of a social engagement. It's the social network. So it's usually good for very short marketing, engagement, conversationists. YouTube is great if you need a video. And a lot of times people look at videos. People would rather hear and see something than read it. So, you know, sometimes, you know, putting a message, a PSA or a tutorial on YouTube just to have a video to share is a medium that people are more interested in looking at. And, you know, if people can't get out to your monthly meeting, it's nice to do it online because then they can access it whenever. So Coastal Virginia is doing coastal chats, and they have some marketing videos, and they have some of their first coastal chats on here. And so I'm sure they can do it live for people to join then. They can put it in their e-newsletter to say, hey, if you missed our conversation with such and such, please, watch it here. They can also say, hey, it's a great time of year to talk about self-care. Check out our coastal chat from last fall. It's just like a really nice bite-sized tool to have, in that video format. It can be a good marketing tool if you're like, hey, here's interested in knowing what NAMI Rappahannock offers. Here's a lineup of what we do, and just having a quick PowerPoint of it that people can look at. Want to know how to reach us? Here's our numbers. Want to join our distribution list? Send an email to this, this person right here. There's a lot of different ways to do it. There's no, I would say, like, home run that we've quite figured out yet, but we're just sort of giving people ideas to consider.
Yeah, and I think one of the nice things is YouTube videos are really easy to share on other platforms. So if I create the video on YouTube, I can still share it to Facebook. I can still share it to, our website. I can show you guys, we put our rally video on our walk website, our walk page, right in there so people can watch it. It is a YouTube video that we just embedded into the walk website, so people can watch it. So there's a lot of flexibility, I think, with the YouTube videos that you can do, and both uploading videos and going live. Then like I said, the live after 24 hours will create a video, just like on Facebook, it stays on Facebook, but it'll create a video that'll stay in your channel if it's public. So.
And just to give you guys one more background, so this No Health Without Mental Health, NAMI Coastal Virginia, that's something they made in Canva. I'm sure they, Googled YouTube dimensions and just came up with that. Obviously, this one's sort of bleeding off, so I'm sure they were just like, let's put something up there to personalize our channel. You can see what their thumbnails look like, and some of the time they're using the same ones, and some they're sort of like personalizing it a little bit more. But that's very easy to make in Canva. So just, all food for thought.
No shortage of that.
Right? The truth is you know what it is, and if you find a time for it, that's the key. If this continues and you want to do a monthly meeting and you're like, let's just do it on YouTube.
Yep. I do want to get to how to actually connect it to Zoom, because this part's a little bit confusing. So I do want to take some time to do this, if that's okay with you guys, if you're ready to jump onto that. So in Zoom, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but I don't think you need a advanced account in order to go live on anything. Is that correct? You can use a basic account?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So I'm in my account. I'm an admin, so I can adjust the settings for myself. I can also adjust the settings for my whole group. I guess that doesn't apply to basic accounts, but so ignore what I just said.
They have a HIPAA compliant version of Zoom, which is much more expensive than our $15 a month version. And so they've got administrators and so many accounts, whereas like we all just have one account, that we all sign into. So just, yes.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
just ignore. No, that's okay. I just realized as I was saying it, that wasn't relevant. But so I'm in my account and I'm here. I want to hit settings. And when I go to settings, my settings show up. I want to hit in meeting advanced. It's going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to keep scrolling. It's kind of far down. But if you've done Facebook Live, you've probably seen this before. What you want to do is first, the default is that it's going to be off. So you want to first turn this on so that it's blue. And then you want to check off all of the ones that you would like to use. So if you want to use Facebook Live, you have to check off these. For this, you want to make sure that you check off custom live streaming service, because it's a little bit different when you're setting up the YouTube ahead of time, like I already did here. So I need to check off custom live streaming service, and then I guess it's automatically saved because I didn't change anything. But make sure you save the settings.
And if you do this once, you never really have to worry with it again. It just gives you the option on your settings at the bottom toolbar that this will pop up that you can now go live. You can do all of these things.
Would you please go to that part of the page again so I can do a quick copy screen?
Yep. Let me go to in meeting advanced. And right here is the section.
Remember how back in the day when we were setting up for meetings, there were a few settings where just like set them up like this and you'll never touch them again. And this is kind of one of those things once you activate, it's not going to impact a lot of your other activities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you just have to do it once, but you have to make sure this one is checked, otherwise you won't be able to work. But are you all set? Did you get, okay, just making sure. All right, now I'm gonna set up my meeting. I'm gonna go to meetings. It'll load. My computer's a little slow today. Schedule a new meeting. You know, same way that you would set up the meeting, I can do my title. I'll set up the time. I think I said the live stream was gonna be tomorrow at 4 p.m. You know, any settings that you typically would do for any of these meetings. So I want to do these if I have an alternative host. Set up the meeting however you typically would for your Zoom meeting and hit save. So now I see this video that shows my meeting. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I have this live streaming tab. I'm going to click on this. And, you know, it shows all of these and it tells you, you know, same way you would do Facebook is after launching the meeting and you click on more and then you choose Facebook or YouTube. That's where I would go if I was just doing it live like Facebook, just having the video pop up as soon as we go live. But because I have this nice video already set up here, I want to hit this button that says configure live stream settings. So I have these 3 different things that it needs me to input, and I'm going to get all of those from my YouTube page. So I apologize if I'm going back and forth between the 2 pages. I just want to make sure that I get to copy and paste everything. Let me know if I'm going too fast. So the first thing I need is the stream URL. So I'm going to go back right here. It's kind of small, but you can see it says stream URL right here. So I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to go and paste it in this box over here. And then next is the stream key. So I'm going to go back. Here's my stream key. I'm just going to hit copy and I'm going to paste it in here. So this last link that they need is the URL that you're going to share with your audience. So the one that I found before, that shareable link, the one that you're going to send to your network and say, come here to watch it, which again, it's not on this page, unfortunately. So just a reminder, you go back to this 3rd button down here that says manage. You go to these 3 dots and hit get shareable link. And then I'm going to put that in here. And that's the same one that if I put it in here will bring me to that video when it goes live. So now you can see it says live in 23 hours because it's a little bit less than 24. So that's the link that you want to use for that last one. So I put in those 3, I hit save. And it's set up for the meeting. So you can see here, it has that same URL, the stream key, and that page.
Where did you find that link to get all that stuff?
So when I was here
in
my student, so this one, the shareable link.
No, the, not this page. Oh, maybe, go ahead, go there.
I got it.
Are you looking for these? This is the information.
Real quick, Megan.
Okay,
I think what she means is it's that little button 2 up on the left side, on the left search bar.
Oh, or I can just click on.
Or the task button, yeah.
Yep.
So you'll see the other 2 are here.
These 3, and then Maybe it was in Zoom, there was a button.
So when I was in Zoom, when I went to this live streaming tab at the bottom, there was a
Yeah.
button that said configure live stream settings.
Yeah, that's the button.
That's the one
Okay.
that I clicked on to get that box that popped up a few minutes ago.
Okay. All right.
Yep. I apologize. There's a lot of buttons, a lot of things,
Yeah.
which is why it's a little bit more confusing.
Yeah.
I will say, I believe Zoom has a step-by-step
Tutorial.
instruction of how to set it up this way that I can send to. It's not super detailed, so I think this is a little bit easier to see. But I think there's probably a YouTube video somewhere on how to do it as well, but which is how I think found out originally, but I can send Sarah the Zoom tutorial that they have on how to set it up that just has all of it written down.
So if we were to search for that, we would search for Zoom tutorial for linking with YouTube.
I think if you could just do Zoom tutorial for YouTube Live should work. And they have both I know I mentioned you could just go straight to YouTube Live without setting up the link ahead of time. They have that instructions for that, and they have instructions for what I just did.
Combination and maybe giving you a phone call in a pinch might take care of it.
That's fine. If anyone needs, wants to have a Zoom call and show me, hey, I'm trying to set this up and I need help setting it up, I'm happy to do that. Like I said, can all be done before your actual live stream ahead of time. So if you need an extra set of eyes to tell you, oh, just switch back to the other page, click that button to get this link, because it's a lot of jumping around. So I'm happy to do that if anyone wants to test it out and actually do it themselves and just needs somebody to help them through it. But
What's the best way to reach you? Texting or email or?
Probably email. I don't know, Sarah, if you want to send out my email with the tutorial, or I can include it in the chat box once I stop sharing my screen, but I can send you guys my email if you want to just contact me that way.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, so the nice thing is, once you get through all of that, it is set up, it's ready to go. So when you start that meeting, like Sarah mentioned, there's going to be, if you're the host, you have to be the host of the meeting. There's going to be that more button in that bar of icons on the bottom. And what you click on is the custom live streaming service button. And it'll take a couple minutes, but it's going to automatically connect you. It's going to load this page and start showing your video here. I realize it's hard to imagine without it actually being set up. So if you guys want to do a one-on-one, and we can actually set it up and you can see what it might look like if you want to do that.
And the key thing to remember, if you'll go back to your Zoom page, Megan, with the meeting, is that this is just like the meeting you would make for connections or your peer-to-peer group. You might send a calendar invitation to Karen, so she's got the date of this town hall you guys are going to do for Fredericksburg. And then, you're going to start the Zoom meeting like you would, and you probably want to start it early since you've advertised you're going to go live at 4, so you might join at like 3:50. And you're just going to get yourself set up. If you have a PowerPoint, if you have a guest speaker, you'll get them ready on Zoom. And, similar to what Mary Beth always says, you'll kind of want to put it into not gallery view, so that it'll sort of go to whoever's speaking. So the video kind of follows the speaker. And then, you'll just hit Zoom and say, look, guys, you'll see it that we're live in the top right corner when we do. Karen, please feel free to start your presentation. So that's kind of how it works. And you would do the same thing for Facebook Live. You start the Zoom meeting just like always. And similar to me saying, hey guys, I'm going to start the recording in a minute. Here's our plan. You do the same thing. The only difference is that this is recorded and no one's seeing it right now until I share it. But if it was on YouTube or Facebook, it would be up there right now. And you might have the added complication of wanting to engage your audience. Facebook way more so than YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And I will just say, this is like I said, this page is going to automatically pop up when you hit that custom live streaming service button. And it's going to show you exactly what it's going to look like here. And then you're just going to hit this go live button in the top right corner when you're ready. And that's the same place you'll hit to stop it at the end. But so you'll keep this page up. This is going to be sort of your most important page, because you can, again, track the chats here. You can see what your audience is seeing, and that's where you end it. So this will pop up automatically, and you can keep it all up throughout the live stream for when you need it.
Can you delete stuff off your channel?
Yes. It's a little bit more complicated, but I can show you with this one, for example. So if I go to my channel, I'm going to go to YouTube Studio. And this is sort of where you can edit videos. This is, I think, where you can see the analytics. Yeah, so if I click on the video that I want, I can delete forever right from here. I'm not going to do that with this video, but this is where I can organize all my videos. I can edit them or remove them. It's all in this section, YouTube Studio.
Not up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it might be something that, you know, play around with YouTube a little bit. That's sort of how I figured all of this out, was, you know, hitting a few different buttons, trying to find my way.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And you'll find some of it is a little bit more complicated, but I think for basic, if you just want to get some videos up there, it's not too hard to start. Just for people who want to just upload videos, the same button, instead of hitting go live, you're going to hit upload video. And that'll take you to the studio to choose the video that you want to upload and add a title, and it'll pop up like one of these videos. So,
and you could do that by recording it on your, your laptop camera, your phone camera, anything like that. Mm-hmm. And so for most affiliates, I don't know that you're going to want to dive into managing a YouTube channel. You know, people do this to get sponsors. You know, some people really do this to make some money. NAMI has a paid staff person probably doing this explicitly. Mostly for this, for you guys, is just, you know, if we continue to have to be social distancing and you want to engage your community, it's one avenue. But think about the stuff you're doing now, and if you want to reach people that maybe can't come in person, you might just think about if you could translate it to be online. So that you can have more people reach it live, but also see it after the fact, if it lends itself to that.
Speakers.
Exactly.
Meetings.
Yep.
Yeah, because I would think that there'd be a number of people who would not want to be identified as having mental illness. So we're not talking about people that we're basically trying to serve. It would be bringing resources.
Right. And so, for example, if we were doing a YouTube video right now, we might be the fourth panelist talking about mental health. But the people viewing it wouldn't be outed. They wouldn't be in the video at all. They would just be able to view us talking about it.
That's with YouTube or Facebook.
And Facebook. It would be exactly the same.
So the panelists log into Zoom, and then from Zoom we go live to YouTube?
Or Facebook, whichever one you want to use.
Facebook.
But Facebook, you can only go live instantaneously. You kind of have to advertise it on Facebook. You may have seen like we have a town hall tomorrow with Kathy to talk about our efforts to go back to in-person. And so we're just sort of pushing posts about it. But YouTube Live, you could actually have it so people are checking your channel, or you could just promote that link. Okay, well, Megan, this was amazing. Appreciate the effort that you put into it to help us figure it out. Does anybody have any extra questions for her?
Gotta fool around first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
absolutely. I
Thank
know
you.
it can be a bit confusing because it has a little bit more moving parts than some of the other things that we do, but I think, it can be a really good tool, and you may decide that your affiliate doesn't need it or want it. But I think definitely try playing around with it if you think it might be useful for your network.
And if you ever figure out that time, we've got this recording for you to sort of play back to yourself as a reminder, which is nice.
Yeah, that's true. And this is going to be up there forever? Or?